morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Hey, listen, it was a quiet day in sports last night, but there's a huge topic that's going on right now in the NBA, and I like to tune in on it. But first, let's take a look around the league last night in the association, the NBA that is, and I'll tell you, it's it's been frustrating as a Knicks fan to watch what is taking place as they lose again, to see their playoff hopes just slip and slide away and fade away, surrounded by the mellow talk and so forth, the trade talk, I should say. And they lose again on the road to Washington, and now they fall 8 games below 500 and remain in the 11th spot. And it doesn't seem like they have any cohesiveness or continuity or any momentum, I should say, to kind of pull themselves out of this hole. You got Derrick Rose out of the lineup for the last 2-3 weeks. Porzingis has been in and out of the lineup for whatever reason. And, it's pretty alarming that you hear everybody talk about how Phil got it right by drafting Porzingis and we should trade Carmelo and build around Porzingis. Quite frankly speaking, I like Porzingis, and I don't deny his potential and what he has a chance to do in this league. But as a second-year vet, a second-year player, I should say, he hasn't given me any indications, or at least strong indications, that he can be a leader of a team, or that you should build around, or you should focus, or let's put it this way, trade Carmelo at this point in his career to just say, here's the team, Porzingis. He hasn't shown that he can carry a team, not from a leadership standpoint, not from a talent standpoint. I mean, his goal, he said, was not just to get better, but to play every game. And the guy that's played more games, I think Carmelo's only missed one game. Noah's been out. Derrick Rose has been out. Courtney Lee, he was out for a few games. But for the most part, it's been Carmelo a mainstay in that starting lineup. And to me, this is alarming on the behalf of Porzingis. If we should build around him and he can't stay healthy, I don't know if that's a wise idea to trade Anthony now. And I'm not saying we don't trade Anthony. I just think we should hold off at least to the off season. But I'm not high on building a team around Porzingis. In fact, I'll go as far as say I don't think Porzingis should be an untouchable. I know that's going to rub some people the wrong way, but I don't think so. But we're going to scan around the league, and the Lakers with a nice win late last night against Denver. Good to see them have a little bit of pep in their step, but it might be a little too late as they're 17-34 at this point in the season. But nevertheless, it's good to see that they got a win. Portland Trailblazers look like they're trying to get some kind of cohesiveness as they pulled off a good win at home against Charlotte last night. The Spurs did something that I don't know if any other team has done anything today as they beat OKC. But they held Russell Westbrook scoreless in the fourth quarter. That's unbelievable. But he did finish with 27 and 14 assists. He didn't have a triple-double. Kawhi Leonard was the big player there. He had 36 points. But all in all, a few games. Kyle Lowry with a big jump shot in overtime to seal the deal against New Orleans. That was a big shot, big win. He had 33. He had a double-double. I'm not sure of the assists, but he did. As I mentioned, the Wizards, the Knicks lose to the Wizards. Wizards was led by Bradley Beal as him and Carmelo Anthony was going shot for shot as Carmelo. He had finished with 25. But I tell you what, this time of the year, all teams could use a little break. It might be a blessing in disguise that Carmelo Anthony, or nor any New York Knicks player for that matter, is not selected to the All-Star. Maybe they can use this week to maybe catch a breath, maybe to rest some knick-knack injuries or whatever the case is, maybe to regroup and get a fresh start. And who knows, maybe the second half can be a better second half than the first half. And the interesting thing about it is that as you have some teams that pretty much know that they're going to be in the playoffs, maybe they rest players. Maybe New York catch a couple of teams without their full staff, and maybe they're able to pull off the win. You never know. These things can happen. So that's something to keep an eye on and see what happens in the second half. But if New York is going to make some sort of run, it's got to start on February 1st against Brooklyn tonight. I mean, whether it's, I'm not sure if it's in Brooklyn, at Brooklyn, I should say, or at the Garden. But nevertheless, it should be a home crowd for New York, and New York should be able to get this win. And if so, this is a type of win they need to start off February. They have Cleveland on Saturday night. I'm not sure if Kevin Love is going to play. We know J.R. Smith is out. There's a lot of controversy right now surrounding Cleveland with LeBron James, and we're going to talk about that because that is the big topic right now. And so it couldn't come at a better time for New York. So if New York is going to try to turn this ship around and guide it into the playoffs, it's actually going to start tonight against Brooklyn. All right, moving along. We're going to talk about this heated or hot topic in the NBA right now. Yes, it centers around LeBron James. He made some comments towards Charles Barkley, called him a hater. Then brought up Charles Barkley's personal stuff. Listen, let me say something. Whether you agree with him or not, whether you like him or not, Charles Barkley gets paid to be opinionated. Charles Barkley gets paid to be on the air and give his opinion about players in the NBA. If he talks about anything that's personal, then he's out of line. Whether he's right what he says about the individual on the court or the individual as a player, as an NBA employee, whether he's right or wrong, you agree or disagree, he gets paid to do so. He gets paid to do so. I may be old school, and I might be of the minority when I say this. LeBron James needs to keep quiet and play ball. I'll repeat it. LeBron James needs to keep quiet and play ball. Let's review history about LeBron James. When LeBron James was in high school, ESPN followed him around until he was drafted on draft night. And when he came into the league, he was already self-appointed or self-anointed as the king. He came into the league, he was the darling of the league. Everybody rooted for him and cheered for him. I rooted for him, I cheered for him. What he did against Detroit in that overtime game and playoff was epic. You're not going to find any more stronger performances in playoff history than that one he did that year. To follow it up with a three-point shot that hit the backboard and fell in against Orlando, you couldn't have been any happier for this guy. You just couldn't have been any happier for him. And even though he was undermanned and under challenge when he went up against San Antonio, you rooted for this guy. And as long as he was in Cleveland, you rooted for this guy. See, there's been two LeBrons in the NBA. The before Miami and the after Miami. Or should I say the before the decision and the after decision. There's been two LeBrons. The before the decision, everybody rooted for him. Everybody wanted him to win. Everybody wanted him. To me, Winning in Cleveland would have been huge. But when he made the decision, what he did to the Cleveland, everything that surrounds Cleveland, from the fans to the city to his teammates to management, it was as if he left them at the altar. He was going to marry them and did not show up. And then shortly after the decision, you start getting the uniform change. You see that. Then you get the interview. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. And you see D Wade laughing like, hey, don't get carried away with this. We haven't even practiced yet. But what he done was put LeBron James in a different light. And yes, he made himself a target. He put himself under the scope where he could be scrutinized. And that everything he said, everybody listened and gave opinions to. Because, see, we grew up in the old school. We didn't bet that 2 big dogs would beat a little dog. We would bet on that little dog. Just because you beat me, I didn't join you. I continued to work on my game to beat you. I didn't look for the best players. If I lost with me and my sisters, I'm turning around, let's go, sis. Let's get this together. If I was playing you with me and the 2 little guys from the neighborhood and we lost, I'm not looking for somebody else to come and play. Listen, let's tie up our sneakers and let's get in. Let's dig in. Pull our shorts up. Let's go. Listen, I'm a firm believer. You take your lumps until you get there. Michael Jordan did that. Kobe Bryant did that. Isaiah Thomas did it. Not everybody was fortunate enough to come into a league like a Magic Johnson and arguably get drafted by a team that already had the best player in the game. Not everybody's fortunate to do that or to achieve that. And now, he can't take the criticism from former players. And Barkley called him a whiny brat. Yeah, he is a whiny brat. He's a whiny brat. He complains about everything. Now, whether he's right to complain or not, he still complains. He complains about everything. Watch a game. He complains about fouls. Don't nobody get more foul calls than him. Ask when's the last time he ever was in foul trouble. When's the last time he fouled out? He reaches all the time. Not every block is clean. And now his latest rant, he needs more players. Spend the money. And in defense of Gilbert, the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, they have the highest payroll in the game. They have the highest payroll in history. And he wants them to spend more money. We need a playmaker. We need a playmaker. He's asking for D Wade. That's who he's asking for. But what are you saying to the players who are suiting up with you right now? These are the same players that won a championship with you. So whether it was last year he goes on a 2-week vacation in the middle of the season, or is it this year that in January, maybe he's not giving it his all, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. And now he's upset with Barkley because he's a hater. Let me tell you something about Charles Barkley. In my eyes, Charles Barkley can say what he wants because you can make the case that Charles Barkley is the best power forward to ever play the game. It's an argument that's not going to fly well, but you can make the case. Why? Who did what he did at the power forward position at 6'4"? Rebound, post up, score from the outside, handle the ball, play defense. Who did that? He changed the game from the power forward position. He took the power forward position from out of the paint. He's the one that did that. He's the one that handled the ball. He probably was the first point forward out there early on in his Philly days as the Docs and the Maurice Cheeks and they were leaving Philadelphia, whether it was through trade or retirement. Moses Malone going to another team. He was the one that became a do-all player at the power forward position. He's probably not the best power forward to play the game, but I would say this, he's probably the most talented power forward to ever play the game. So he knows a thing or two about this game. And to me, you don't have to be great. I mean, you don't have to win a championship to be great. You can still have a great career and be a great player without the ring. Because quite frankly, it takes more than one player to get a ring. And to listen to LeBron complain and whine like he does sound like a little brat. And he does need to keep quiet and just play ball. And all of y'all that think that a playmaker is somebody like Jamil Nelson, Mario Chalmers, or now Darren Williams, no. Cleveland is sitting with almost $12 million in trade exception, which means that they can use those trade exceptions to absorb someone's salary that may put them over the cap, or in this case, it can be used in a trade that the money doesn't add up with the players involved, but the trade exception can take the place of the extra money. So I'll give you an example. D-Wade is making $23 million this year. Shannon Fry, I believe, is making $7 million, and Iman Shumpert is making $9 million. So that's $16 million. So in a perfect world, that trade can't go down because Cleveland is getting back $7 million too much. They're not sending enough money out. However, they can send back $7 million in trade exception to absorb. Now, what happens is you don't pay luxury tax on a trade exception, but the minute somebody's money falls into it, now you start to pay additional. And I don't think Dan Gilbert wants to do that, but LeBron is on record. We need to spend more money, and we need to get a playmaker. And from what I understand and I read through my sources, part of LeBron's return to Cleveland was, I will remain here in Cleveland as long as you continue to spend money. And I guess Dan Gilbert is saying, well, we won a championship. I have the highest payroll. I'm paying a ton of luxury tax money. We have this team to repeat. I think we're even better. Just the fact that we have another year under our belt. Only thing that may stand in our way is health. I don't think I need to spend any more money. But instead of having a closed door, he wants to go to the media. But now he wants to feel like a victim because Charles Barkley is calling him out on it. Well, I'm calling you out too. Come after me. I'm a hater. I don't care. I just asked you shut up and play ball. You have the chance. You have the talent to be the greatest player to ever play the game. But because of your lack of killer instincts and this whiny brat mentality, in my eyes, you'll never be it. You would never be it. Sure, star players have said, get me some players or trade me. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem if you said that. I don't. I just have a problem when you whine and complain about everything. Whether it's back-to-backs, the games is too long, shorten the season, I should have a day off. And then you want to hide behind, oh, if I've had a 14-year career, I earned the right. I never did anything wrong. I don't have no off-the-court issues. Yeah, the off-the-court LeBron, I'm a huge fan of. I'm a huge fan of the off-the-court LeBron. But the NBA that we watch, the NBA that we talk about, or the NBA that we listen to the voices of pundits and maybe former players, has nothing to do with the off-the-court LeBron. Has nothing to do with that. So I'm with Chuck. You're acting like a spoiled brat, and you need to put a lid on it and just play ball. And that's it. Play ball. That's going to do it for my closing. That's going to do it for my show today. And I'll see you guys in 24. I can go on and on about this. As you can see, the LeBron on the court, I'm just simply not a fan of. This is Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. I see you guys in 24.